Patrick, we'll start with you, and then we'll go to Wes.
Omari, Coach Hyman was in here and said that you guys got, a dose of reality is the way he put it this morning, sort of resetting for the week. You guys playing for Coach Garner, I guess it was maybe a harder dose of reality maybe than some of the other position groups. Just what was the meetings like this morning, so to sort of get everything on the page from Alabama?
Yeah, I mean this morning with Coach G, it was just he congratulated us and he was just happy for us, telling us how proud he was, and right after that he immediately said, "Yeah, let's watch this film, make those corrections, and just get ready for this upcoming week." And that's something that we, like Coach Hypo said, we in our team meeting we looked at the corrections, went through our whole little thing of what we do, and we just focused on our next opponent.
Wes and then Vince.
Omar, when y'all look at the film and broke that down from that game, obviously, Alabama's got some of the best players in the country on offense. How much of that stuff was them just making plays, and how much of it was stuff where you're like, okay, we could have done this better?
Yeah, it was a lot of like I always come in here and say, a lot of small details that we saw that we were blessed with them just not making that play at that time, because we made a lot of mistakes as well. But it was just, we know that we focused on, we know there was a great team coming in, and we just really harped on those small details coming into the week. And we saw on film that it's still a lot of things that we got to get better at, and we still got to grow as a team, and that's really what we focus on going into this next game, which is the biggest game.
Mark, just from your perspective, what the celebration afterwards, the fans rushing onto the field, the goalposts leaving the stadium, and all that, how do you kind of summarize it?
It's lost for words, honestly. Like, just seeing all that, like all the videos and things like that, it's just like, wow, I was really a part of that. Like, I'm part of history like that. And it was just, it was amazing. Just in that moment, like, just sitting there, like, I'm on field goals. So, like, just sitting there, I had so much confidence in Chase. And just, I don't know if you watch the video, you just see me, as soon as the kick, like, I didn't even look at the ball. I just ran straight to the student section. That's how much confidence I had in Chase. And it's just amazing. It's like, you lost for words in that moment.
And talk about chasing Bryce Young in that game where he was so elusive that you guys continue to stay after him. Talk about that.
Right, he's just Bryce is a great player. His field, like, people ask me after the game, I'm like, his field awareness is crazy. Like, just knowing, like, people chasing him and just be able to move and stuff like that. It was just, but we know that's something that we harped on. We didn't know who was playing going into the week, so we just focused on just getting ready for both quarterbacks. They both mobile, both great quarterbacks, and we just really focused on being able to affect the quarterback in the game.
We'll go Paige, Adam, and then Reese.
Back here, similar to Vince's first question about the fans and how loud it was. During the game, did you notice, could you feel how loud it was? I mean, this has to be one of the more fun times to be playing for
Yeah.
KC.
Oh yeah, you definitely feel it for sure. You feel it. You just in that moment, but you in the game for business. You there. You trying to win the game. You're doing everything to block out, especially like just making sure we hearing the linebackers talk, the D line talking to each other. But yeah, you definitely hear it in the game, and just when the fans are helping us like create negative plays, just offsides and different things on their offense, it's a good feeling to feel.
Still got half of a regular season left. What can players do to make sure this isn't the peak of this season?
I'll say a small thing that a lot of us have been talking about now is just being in the training room. We know that it's a long season. We just halfway through it, and we just, you have players banged up and things like that, but you just got to continue to be in the training room. That's something Coach G has preached to us too, as well, just as a D-line group. You want to live in the training room. You want to get, because that's how you protect your body. That's how you continue to play these long seasons like that.
And the best teams obviously can keep focus over the long run of the season. Do you accept that challenge is that it's not easy, that it is difficult to keep focus for 6 more weeks at least?
Well, I feel that if it's something that you really want to do and you're trying to get to where you want to go, it's easy to keep focused, because especially when you got people around you continuing to push you and y'all have the same common goal, it's easy to keep focused because you're pulling for the people around you and not just what you want to do.
Reese?
Mark, going back to Vince's question, Bryce Young obviously elusive. It seemed like you guys were in the backfield at the time when you finally got that lone sack in that
Mhm.
game. What was the relief to finally bring him down
Yeah.
back there?
It was just it was a good feeling. I knew that was just a play in the game that the way I think it was just another play in the game that we just trying to finish the game off, trying to do everything we can to win the game. And it was a play needs to be made by somebody, and it's always out there. So making a sack like that is just I'm ready to make another one. Just getting back on the line, just continuing to play and just trying to finish the game off.
Ryan, and then Patrick.
I've already saw pictures where a lot of you guys posed for pictures with Peyton Manning and some of the other former Vols that were in the locker room. Did any of those guys talk to the team or talk to you individually and just what they say about how much that game meant to them?
Yeah, I just I got a chance. I talked with Al Wilson, and it's just he was so happy for us, like just being able to like just get a win like that. He was happy for everybody on the team. I was just talking to him afterwards, and he was just telling us how to keep going. He was like, don't be satisfied right now, and we can't be satisfied. We know that's a great win for our program, and that tradition against two great teams like that. But we know we got to keep going. We got to be 1-0 every week.
Patrick.
When you talk about chasing Bryce around, you had the one play where they reviewed it for targeting.
Mhm.
When they were looking at it, were you nervous? Did you think you were okay? Kind of, what was your thought process there about that play?
Yeah, in that play, it's just we go out here every week. We not trying to physically and purposely hurt anyone. Like it's just a true football play. Like I didn't try to purposely hurt them or anything like that. And so it's just really in that play, in that moment, I was like, I really didn't know it was like being reviewed until like we were in the huddle and Coach G was like talking to me about it. I was like, I didn't really feel like I had did anything, but like no, like we're not going out here like purposely like doing anything or nothing like that to hurt anyone. So I just felt like I just tried to make a football play and get a good hit on the quarterback.
We'll do two more. We'll go to Vince and we'll finish with Eric.
More the offensive line played incredible. I know you went up against them a lot in practice. Did you kind of see them coming together like this to this level against that kind of opponent?
Yeah, they have been gelling, and they've been gelling. We see it all the time just in our group work. They just always encouraging each other. They always pushing each other to do better, and they always just coaching each other up. And I feel like that's something that they're doing good at. They just playing for each other, honestly. That's what we're trying to do as a team, just continue to play for each other.
Eric, last question.
Omari, you get the big win against Alabama, okay? In 2 weeks, you got back in SEC play with Kentucky and Georgia and so forth. As a leader on this team, what's the challenge about this week to continue the same preparations and to play at a high level?
Oh well, we look at every week. We not worried about. We look at our next opponent. UT Martin is our next opponent, and we're coming in. They're a good team. They do a lot of good stuff. We already saw watching film on them, and we just have to come in ready to play. We know it. We trying to go 1-0 every week, so we know we come in. We got to do. We got to lock in on all the small details, focus on everything that they do, so that we able to go 1-0 and just be able to go out there and play hard.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, everybody.